I'm not shutting up for shit. I'm not shutting up for shit. I will literally keep talking. So anyway, it was weird. It went down to 0. It said, somebody said that the screen was glitching out and they couldn't hear me anymore. And then everybody dropped from the chat. Like, it said that there were 0 people in here, and I was like, what? To my own twin flame, who I recently learned. I recently discovered, listen, this is so this is a continuation of the anger that I just was channeling in that live stream. There are so many revelations happening to me right now, it's insane. I found out this week that my twin flame has been my handler. He's been my manager, my shut it down. You know, in the industry, MK Ultra, he's literally been my handler. Hi, Medina. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy you're here. I have to tell somebody this. I called my twin flame on the phone a couple nights ago. And I sang a song to him. And it was on speakerphone. And 2 other people in his environment told him, you better put a muzzle on that girl. She's going to get you in trouble. And all of a sudden, I went quiet. I stopped completely. It was as if there was a mechanism and a button on me. And he pushed it. It's like he pushed a button. I was singing at the top of my lungs. I was singing the most beautiful rendition of a song I've ever sang, ever. And I've never sang to somebody that I loved like that before. And he normally loves my singing. But I sang it. And the man that he was with said, you better shut her up. And I don't think he wanted to. I don't know. But it's like I stopped singing. Nobody knows this except me. I don't even know that he knows I know. I just went silent. I could hear their conversation on the phone. And it was like it was all about me. It's like I was learning that for lifetimes, I've been handled. I've had a handler through MK Ultra. That I was on stage a lot as a child. I was a child actor. I was a singer. I was on stage all the time. And I didn't know why I stopped singing. I didn't know why I stopped acting. I didn't know why I stopped ballet or baton. I didn't know why I stopped all that shit. I was like the best at what I did, and I couldn't understand it. And the other day, when I called him on the phone, and I sang, and I mean, it was flawless. It was like I was a Broadway singer. It was the most beautiful rendition of that song. And 3 people, there was a man and a woman and a him, and they go, you better cut that out. He hesitated, and then I got shut down. It was as if I was a robot being deprogrammed. And all of a sudden, I was just laying there lifeless, like in the bed, on the phone, listening to them talk about me. And then my twin flame said, how did he say it? Terminator. He goes, terminated. Just like that. in front of those two people. Right when I went quiet. Made me realize the reason I haven't been able to be successful. Famous. It was my own fears. And the universe had to do what I wanted. The universe had to conspire in my favor. And I was so afraid my whole life of singing anymore. And I was so scared of being favored as an actress and a lead in all the plays and all the shows and everything. I was always getting fucking bullied by my own mother. In the same way Carrie did in that movie. She was cursed by her mother. I was cursed by mine. My mom was the most jealous mother that has ever existed ever in the history of ever. And so as a small child, I started to become so afraid of my own power, of my own voice, of my own gifts, of my own charisma, that the universe conspired in my favor by, I guess, making my own twin flame, my manager, my handler, my MK Ultra controller. He's it. He's my controller. I see it now. And that's why he's so adamant about staying away from me and not coming near, because he knows that he's going to be in for a rude awakening when people find out that he's not handling me anymore, when he's not silencing me anymore because he doesn't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. If my soul doesn't want it, God doesn't want it. If God doesn't want it, then he won't be allowed to do it anymore. It's like when you're manifesting and you realize that you're really the creator of your own reality, you have to see evidence of what you believe to be true. And I believed that people wanted me silenced, and so it had to happen that way. And it's just so unfortunate that it was the man I love more than life itself. MK Ultra is a thing. He and I both were, I think, very much tasked from a very early age of being in that system. And I'm energetically removing myself from it because I want to be famous. I want to be known. I want to share my gifts. I love my voice. I love what I'm about. I love the truth that I share. I love my story, my testimony. I love everything about myself. I love my acting abilities. I love my skills. I love everything. So I had to see that my boyfriend is the one that did that. For him to confirm it. Like at first when it happened, I just went quiet. And I was like, wait, why'd I go quiet like that? Like I even asked myself, like, it didn't even feel like I was like, whoa. Like I was shocked that it could happen. That I witnessed it. But then for him to confirm and say the fucking word Terminator like that to please the man that he was with, because whoever that guy is, not a good guy. Not a good guy at all. And I'm actually worried for my twin flame because I don't think my twin wants to be in that situation at all. Who would? Being told by two people, you either silence her or we will. I don't blame him. And in fact, I don't blame him. And I do forgive him and I love him and I still want him. And I'm still very much, I still love him. I know that there is a system for people like me, and it's to keep us silenced. It's to keep us in check. That's what MK Ultra was for. And I think God protected me from the industry. I think that my acting and my singing, everything kind of kept contained until now, until I'm more spiritually aware as an adult what it is really that's happening to women like me. If I were to be out there getting a lot of recognition, a lot of money, a lot of fame, a lot of notoriety, a lot of publicity, a lot of press for believing in this stuff and talking about how I freed myself from MK Ultra and also a dark fallen twin flame, I think that it would encourage a lot of people to believe that they could do the same thing. And I think this is where people get freaked out. And this is where the higher ups of the planet do not want me to talk about it. But because this is an assumption of mine, I can also break it. I can also know that as a master manifester, that I just have an assumption that somebody can silence me. If I instead assumed that everybody wanted to hear me and everybody was excited for what I have to say and everybody loved hearing me sing, that'd be one thing. I don't have that assumption though. I had an assumption that the universe wanted to silence me and mute me, and it used my own soulmate to do so the other night on the phone. And the next day is when he randomly woke up at a church. I don't think he woke up there. I think he like took himself there, but he called me from a church and was like, why am I here? Why am I at this church? And it's almost like he was so dazed and confused, like he didn't even know how he got there. Like, I know he took himself there, but it was almost like he was like, what is happening to me? I think what's happening is we're twin flames and we're beginning to wake up from MK Ultra. Yeah. They can't steal your gifts. That's why they're mad, because they want to keep using you, but you won't allow it anymore. So they pull out all the stops. Exactly, Marcos. Right. Oh, I love you more than life itself. Oh, I love you guys so much. So my twin flame, yeah, he said Terminator like that. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew it was real. He was my handler. I say was because we haven't talked since those police officers showed up at the church. He hung up on me. I think because he was about to start ministering to a guy, the officer. There's two officers I think that showed up. The church leader, the pastor, whoever he was, whatever. He wasn't going to give my boyfriend any food. And he was like, what are you doing here, son? You don't need to be around here. Why are you here? Are you looking for trouble? And then all of a sudden he called the cops, and the cops were there. And so the two cops, I was on the phone. I wasn't talking to the cops. I don't even know if they knew I was on the phone really. But anyway, I was on the phone, and all of a sudden they were like interrogating him and questioning him, like, why are you here and all this? And he's like, I'm just looking for food. I was wondering if there's any food here. And then I prayed literally while we were on the phone. I said, angels, please help him. Holy angels, holy divine angels, be there in that situation, do something. And then as soon as I said that, there was this weird thing that my boyfriend said. He said, sir, I have PTSD. Do you have PTSD too? And the officer was like, yeah, I guess I do. It actually does really get to me. It bothers me quite a bit, actually. And before I knew it, the police officer was having a confessional with my boyfriend. The real pastor that showed up was my boyfriend. The real priest. So anyway, because my boyfriend really is a very honorable man, he hung up the phone on me while he was being questioned by these police officers. He hung up the phone. He didn't want the officer's business to be in my ears. Why would it? You know, it doesn't need to be. It's a confessional. It's not for me. Anyway, I guess he's fine. Like let him go or whatever. But he never called me back. And I think it's because he's embarrassed that I witnessed him have zero control anymore about where God is taking him. It's as if on the phone when he woke up in the pew, he didn't wake up there. It didn't sound like he was sleeping there or anything. It just sounded like he walked into a church, and then he's just like, why? Why am I here? And it's because God is using him. But I also, the only other conversation I had with him was like 24 hours or so before that, and that was the whole shut her down or I will. You better get your girl, man. You better get your fucking girl, and you better make her shut up. And he did. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. I don't know. But that man is my handler. And there is a reason we are both scared for our life. He used to be my handler. I won't allow him to be it anymore. In fact, I'll just dump him. I'll just move on. I'll just meet somebody new. I don't care. I loved him. And oh my God. Did I want to be with him? Jesus. Of course I want to be with him. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. But my God, is he the worst thing that's ever happened to me? I know twin flames are not easy. If twin flames were easy, everyone would be on this journey, and not everybody's on a twin flame journey. But just please know that there's a reason everything is closing in on me lately. The two men that were in my living room, my twin flame, realizing that he's been used by dark forces to silence me his entire life. Oh shit, and he knows it too, man. Ooh. He must know that. I mean, he saw it, you know? He saw it. I'm sure he saw himself do that. I was literally singing, and then the next moment just silenced. The craziest part was hearing him say Terminator. Terminator. Terminated. Just makes me wonder how long he's known that he's been doing this to me. How long has he known? Was I a subject of MK Ultra? And is this why all of my attempts at being known, well known for something, always ends in failure? Huh. And they have used the man that I love, an innocent man. They've used an innocent man to silence me. Reminds me of this one time in a dream when Kamala Harris was running for president. And in the astral plane, she asked me to work for the CIA. She asked me to use my psychic gifts to work for the government. I had been approached at least twice by her. She wanted me, if she won, to work in the government. And when she brought me into the room, she said, I have to introduce you to somebody. So it was just me, her, and like a bodyguard. But then she said, I'm going to introduce you to somebody. And this was like, I don't know, like 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. And she goes, come on in. And she shows me this police officer. And she goes, Jenna, are you going to work with us or not? And I said, if not, then what? And she said, do you see this officer here? And I said, yes. And he said, well, something bad will happen to him if you don't work with me. And in that dream, she was threatening me by threatening an innocent police officer. And I said, no, I said, no, I'm not working for you. I think my higher self pulled me out of the dream far faster than it should have been, but it was good. I don't know what happened to that guy. But I have been turning down propositions for a while for my psychic gifts and abilities. I've turned down clients that have paid me hundreds of dollars to work with them, and I still say no. I mean, I work very closely with good people. I do not work for a fucking corrupt government. I would never, ever fucking work for a corrupt government, Gestapo, Nazi regime. Ever in a million years, ever in a fucking million years, would I use my beautiful divine gifts to keep your ass out of a prison cell or a karmic debtor's prison that you owe, bitch. No, I would never work for you, ever, and I'm glad you lost the fucking election. Not like we have anybody better, but honestly, I saw talons on that woman in the dream. I saw talons, okay? All I'm saying is I'm about to blow the fucking whistle on some shit, and if I die for it, I die for it. Bitch, I'm already dead. You can't kill someone that's already dead. You already took everything from me. You took my family. I haven't seen anybody in my family since 2021. You took my ability to have children. You took any love partnership I had. You took any abundance that I would have had for myself and being able to know that I can keep a roof over my head and food in the fridge. You took that as well. And then I find out recently, that you took my twin flame union from me by making my twin flame my literal Judas. The betrayer. The one closest to me. It had to be. It had to be the one closest to you. It wouldn't even, it can't be somebody else. It has to be the one closest. Can you imagine how betrayed I feel? You're lucky I'm not insane yet. This shit would do anything to a psyche. This is what makes women go into straitjackets. And you know what? I love myself too much to ever end up in one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my story with a level head, with a sound mind. And if you want to kill me, baby, you take your fucking shot. Aim straight though, bitch. Aim real straight. Just know that there are powers far higher than you that will have a field day if anybody even attempts it with me in my life. I'm telling you right now, as God is my witness, if anybody even tries to hurt me in any way, I do not have a death wish. I do not want suicide. I do not want myself deaded. I do not want unalived. I do not want any of that. So, though I may be depressed, I just recently discovered that the man I'm in love with literally shuts me down to make sure that I don't become famous. That's his fear, though. I don't live in fear anymore. I'm done. The government wants my psychic gifts because I'm a real fucking baddie. I'm the best at what I do and I fucking know it. Oh, I'm top tier, bitch. I'm top tier. I'm creme de la creme. Cream of the crop. I'm goated. I'm so fucking overpowered, it's dangerous. There's a reason they want me. There's a reason I've been propositioned. There's a reason at rock bottom, living in my car, living in a sardine can, in the middle of summer, with no air conditioner, in the fucking desert. There's a reason I was even silenced then. I hadn't even flexed yet. I hadn't even tried yet. And I was already silenced. And then to find out that the man I love and I have been doing everything to be with. I've known about him in dreams for 14 years. I've known about this man. My ultimate soulmate. Leaving behind everyone that isn't him. Saying goodbye to everything and everyone so that I could be in a divine partnership. And then to find out on the phone from the horse's mouth that he works with my enemies to make sure that I shut the fuck up. The one that was supposed to love me and protect me. He was supposed to be the one to take care of me. He did it. My own twin flame. My own Judas betrayed me. And karma hit him the very next day when he showed up at a church asking for help. And the pastor called the police on him instead. Just like Judas should be fucking arrested. Just like Judas should go somewhere. Fuck you, Judas. Fuck you. At least when he told me recently he's a piece of shit, at least now I can agree. Then, you know, there's still all this love I have for him, but it's like, it's not the kind of love anymore that makes you want to be with somebody. It's the kind of love that makes you want to save their soul. Send them to God, you know? I've been betrayed my whole life. My mom was my handler too. She was so jealous of me as a kid. I never got to do anything on stage really. Like anytime I was on stage for an hour a day, or if I was at practice or an hour on stage at a performance, like, God, I felt alive. Felt like I could do anything. You know, I don't actually hate my twin flame. He was an actor as a kid as well. They got to him too. That's why I get so upset when I know about the Justin Bieber thing in Hollywood. And that's why, like, I don't ever talk about politics really, and I rarely ever talk about, I definitely do not talk about, like, celebrities and shit. But that whole thing with Justin Bieber, the MK Ultra thing, like, brainwashed, sold into sex trafficking or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but, like, bro, I know that shit is true. I know it's real. I know it's real. I'm pretty positive that something like that happened to me. I think that the reason they used my twin flame is because he's an innocent man. He was just a kid that never grew up. He was just like Peter Pan, never grew up. He was always in some sort of boy home, being shuffled off somewhere, never had parents that cared about him, looked after him, was always in and out of everything. Juvie, prison, always a system. That's what they do. They set our boys up to fail as men. So hearing him on the phone I knew that those two people that he was friends with, I knew they didn't like me. I just didn't know they hated me. So